It makes me realize that some of these women don't have any men in their lives that they care about. And that's terrifying.
Welcome to another episode of Ask a Brother podcast. I'm your host, Jeff St. James, and we're going to have a whole host of different people from different backgrounds coming in because it really is about building a community of like-minded people that's just open to listening and hearing from other perspectives. The revolution is going to be because of us. So you had this controversial take. You actually mentioned it a little bit earlier. You said that we don't call women losers enough.
No.
I want you to get the opportunity to explain yourself and what you mean by that and why perhaps we should.
I think that I am just a champion for gender equality, really. Like, we call men losers all the time
Facts.
for doing whatever. Girls will make fun of men for drinking out of bendy straws and using umbrellas. Like, who cares? And then women can just do no wrong and they are just amazing at everything that we do. Like, no, there are some things that make women losers. And it's similar to the things that make men losers, like a lady's lack of hobbies outside of scrolling on social media. Social media and shopping are not hobbies. You
And
are
love
a loser.
and what's
You know
Love
what I
Island?
mean? Like,
Love Island.
just
Yep.
devaluing men in general and assuming that, like, just because they are this gender that they are beneath you or less than does indeed make you a loser. Whether you are a man or woman, those things don't matter. And on top of that, a lot of the ladies just assume that they can live this fantasy life like a Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, whatever, and think that that won't make them a loser. You are indeed a loser. If you identify as like a Barb, whatever Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion call their audiences, because I don't know.
Mhm.
And the only reason why I know Barb is because Nicki was popular when I was in high school. Please grow up, get a life, get a grip, and recognize that the men are not the only ones that are extremely lame. So are you.
Oh, man. And I don't think people realize the female equivalent of the male loser, where he can't, they call them the incels. These are the guys who can't get access to women, right? The femcels are the women who can't get access to the romantic relationship type of relationships that they want. That's a lot of women. That's a lot of
Absolutely.
women. So that means so when it's not a flex to brag about all the men in your DMs and it's after you and have had access to you that you don't want and that you don't want or actual relationship with. So yeah, I'm starting to realize now that is the actual female equivalent of what it means to be a loser. And I agree with you. I think we do need to start being more gender neutral with this and being fair and balanced. And real quick, everybody, we're almost at 50 people concurrently watching. So if you haven't done so, please make sure that you make sure that you share this with at least 2, 3, 4, even 5 people. And feel free to hit that super chat button. And shout out to Chaos Rain saying that he's already getting ready to start sharing this as well. We have Matrix Media. Welcome. What's going on, Grace, for pulling up? And then they said tip of Israel, Jenise DMV homegirl. Okay, people know you out here in these streets. Yeah, they say the DC Empire. Okay. So listen, y'all, like I said, make sure that y'all share this, make sure that y'all like this, and make sure you feel free to, again, hit the super chat button if you have any questions or comments that you want me to include during this particular interview. All right, so men's mental health. I've seen it everywhere. I've seen it treated as a joke on social media, and even more concerning, I've actually seen it treated as a joke by female therapists, making comments about not even caring about men. What are your thoughts about men's mental health and how social media, but also how women see it and treat it?
I would just like to remind everyone that some of these degrees mean nothing. They're just pieces of paper. Let's just start there, because these women with all of these therapy, psychology degrees, and they still find ways to have so much hatred in their hearts. She just did the assignments and got a piece of paper. We don't listen to those women, actually. um, but it's so sad to see, because it makes me realize that some of these women don't have any men in their lives that they care about. And that's terrifying. I don't know how you have grown as a person if you do not have, like, the balance of the genders somewhere within you, somewhere
Mhm.
like in your experiences.
Yeah.
And it was very easy for me to start caring about men's mental health because I have brothers and uncles and cousins and friends and a nephew. And like I was a school teacher, I was working with young boys. And this, I don't understand how we can care about one gender and not care about the other. That
Mm,
will forever elude my mind. But I do think it's because of a lack of men, fathers in the homes, or maybe sons, even. It has to be something, because
mhm.
their lack of empathy shows me that they don't have any real life experience. And
Um,
that's questionable.
or they've been able to compartmentalize all the men that's not a part of their bubble that they like, love, and that though out if they're outside of my bubble, I hate you. You now you're part of the patriarchy. But not my
Right.
son, not my husband. He's one of the good ones. Like that's typically it's either no positive experiences at all or they hate everybody but theirs.
I
And
always tell women, if you can name 5 good men, then stop. If you have to be like, "Oh, all men, but not my husband, not my brother, not my dad, not my uncle," stop.
hmm
Stop right
hmm
now. You're
hmm
done.
and be the first one screaming and hollering, trying to run up to defense if another woman has something to say disparaging about those men that's yours. So
Mhm.
it's weird to and it's wild because I realize now because of the internet, because of social media, the manosphere, and just how we're engaging with these type of topics now. I don't know 20 years ago most of us we even realized how bad this was and how common it was in terms of this mindset of how people were viewing like men, their mental health. I honestly see it as more of a joke. I've even said it like when they bring up the male loneliness epidemic,
Mhm.
read the comments and see who wants to understand it, who has sympathy or empathy for it, and who's like making the worst comments. You already know who's going to be in it, so it's it's unfortunate for sure. Real quickly, Turner, what's going on, good brother? For pulling up, and this is the Nanaya. That's my girl. Oh, okay, okay, okay.
That is indeed my boyfriend, yes.
Oh, okay, okay. What's going on, boyfriend? So listen, everybody, make sure that y'all share this with at least 2, 3, 4, or even 5 people. Let's see over the course of this interview if we can boost it up to maybe potentially 100 plus people concurrently watching. The rise of Black conservatives versus liberal values. What changed for you, and how did your friends and family respond to you becoming a independent?
I think what changed for me, it kind of started a lot younger. I remember being in my political science class in high school, and we had an assignment to go home and ask our parents what they thought about politics. And I remember my mother told me that she identified as a conservative. And I was
Mm,
very confused because I was like, "Ma'am, you have voted blue my entire life. What do you mean?" And that's when she explained kind of the difference between being more socially conservative versus politically conservative.
mhm,
And that really stuck with me. And so, because I always understood that on a social level, how I present myself, how I act, how I interact with others tends to be more conservative, leaning that way or leaning somewhere in the middle politically was not seen as taboo to me.
mm,
How other people reacted, great question. My brothers, they were on board from the jump. They were like, "Good for you."
okay.
Both of these sides are lying. I'm glad you're looking both ways just to make sure everything's okay.
Mm,
My mother and my aunts, not so much, but they are also baby boomer, Gen X Black women who are basically the Democratic Party's target audience.
boom. Yeah, I get
So
it. I get it. Yeah, yeah.
what you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Uh,
But overall, I think it's just an intelligent thing to do, to try and
mhm.
look at both sides. And if we're only looking at one side and we only hear one side talk about the other side, you've only heard people on the left talk about what people on the right like, and you've never heard someone on the right talk about it, then you're going to find yourself in an echo chamber. And that's, I mean, if you want to stay there, some people do, but
Yeah,
I didn't.
yeah, yeah. And I appreciate hearing that. How did social media react as an independent with you being able to speak out and criticize people's favorite politicians and party that they worship? Like, how did they react to you? Because I've been called coon and everything else. So like, what what was the special words they gave for you? How did they react?
Absolutely. I had several people like call me a coon of some sort, drop a little raccoon emoji or something. Just because, and I was like, y'all are taking this way too surface level for me. But
Yeah, yeah.
also, I'm not going to dig that deep into it because I
Mhm.
know that you're stuck in a mindset that's not going to let you out. So there's no point in us even having this heated debate of a discussion in the comment section because you're not listening. You're not here to
Mhm.
listen and hear about why I think this way. You just want to criticize the fact that I do think this way. And so that's why I kind of try and leave politics where they are at this point because
Mhm.
I'm like, the people that want to learn and grow will, and the people
Mhm.
that don't won't.
Mhm.
And if you don't want to, that's fine. Just you can stay away from me. But I did have some people unfollow me when I started talking about politics. Absolutely.
Ooh, same, same. I had people who I knew for years who, just up one day just unfollowed me just off the strength. And I learned that, like you said, most people are conditioned to not be able to sit in that nuance. They feel like it's very black and white, and sometimes it isn't. Oftentimes it actually isn't. So and then would you say as of today you consider yourself a political independent, or do you lean more with one side or the other as far as our political options?
I definitely identify as politically independent. I think both sides suck real bad.
Yeah,
If I'm being so honest,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I vote based off of the issues, not based off of what side people are on per
Mhm.
se. And so I like local elections and like things that I understand I actually have a hand in. And then I also just think about it in the mindset of the 1% versus the rest of us. It's really
Okay.
not left and right for me. It's the
Mm.
people at the top stepping on everybody else. And if
Mm.
that is not the conversation we're having and they just want to go back and forth on like abortion rights or something, you can keep it. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. So people now again. I bring so much smoke to critiquing the left and the liberals right now. In the sense, I grew up as one. I was raised, so that's effectively, literally all I effectively knew most of my life. So I have much more interest and awareness about why it is that I finally was able to deviate. And people are convinced because of that I'm completely on the other side. And I'm
Mhm.
actually an independent as well, but I'm registered with the Green Party. Yeah, so I pretty much do what I want now at this point. Although they still use the plantation language to try to get me back.